Welcome back to another episode of Carson's Aquatics. Today we are going to be setting up the first aquarium here in the new house. In case you didn't know, me and my girlfriend Tori just got our first place together and I did a full tour video of that, so be sure to check it out if you haven't already. But yeah, we got our own place and we are going to be setting up the first aquarium here. And it is going to be Tori's 37-gallon tank, which is currently at her old apartment. We're going to be bringing that on over here, setting it up in the office, and we're going to be rescaping it with a bunch of new plants I got, as well as some of the old plants that are already in there. It is going to be going right here on this wall here in the office. And for anyone that didn't watch that tour video, again, you should, but here's just a little overview of the entire room. The tank is going to be going right there. That should be the perfect spot. And we are going to be heading over to Tori's here in just a second to pick up the tank, but first we need to stop at my parents' house, or the old fish room, and pick up the plants I was talking about, as well as a couple buckets to move the fish, and just everything we need to move this tank over here. So I'll see you guys over at the fish room. Alright guys, so here we are in the fish room, and here is our 25-gallon red-tail catfish tank, which has also been our live plant holding tank. Let's take a look at our little baby red-tail catfish down here. There's one of them, and the other one's coming up right over here. These guys are so cool, and it almost looks like they're growing a little bit. It may just be me, but I think these guys have grown just a tiny bit. But yeah, I cannot wait to get these guys over to the new house. But that's not what we're here for today. We are here for some of these plants, and I definitely want to take this big one right here. You can see it literally like started another branch up here. So we're going to be taking both of those pieces. I think we're going to be taking some of this hornwort. That should do really well in the tank, and then we'll probably take a couple of these smaller ones as well. Probably at least one of these small leafy ones up here. And I honestly doubt we're even going to use everything that we bring today, because there are a bunch of live plants already in that tank, and they're doing so good for some reason. Literally the plants in Tori's tank are doing better than like any plants I've ever kept. So I guess Tori's just a master plant keeper. But yeah, we're just going to grab whatever I think might look good in the 37-gallon tank, bring it over to the new place, and then whatever we don't use in that tank we can take back here, put back in this tank, and then eventually use it in a different one. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and grab the plants out of this tank, and I'll check in with you guys when I'm done. Alrighty guys, and as you can see there, I just grabbed a good amount of plants out of that 25-gallon tank. Now I'm going to get some water into that bucket, then we're going to head on over to Tori's old apartment and pick up our 37-gallon tank. Alrighty guys, so we are over here at Tori's old apartment, and right here behind me is the 37-gallon tank. You can see I already started draining it. I know it's looking a little bit rough, but it's not too bad. All the fish are doing great in here, and like I was saying, all the plants are for some reason doing amazing in this tank. I mean, this huge one right here, I used to have it in my 55-gallon tank, and it was pretty much dying, and then when I put it in this tank, it just absolutely probably quadrupled in size, honestly. I mean, that thing is thriving. That one in the back there is as well. All these Java ferns up front. It's honestly crazy how good all these plants are doing. So hopefully they can keep that up when we move this tank over to the new house. But the next thing I'm gonna do is get some of this tank water into a bucket, and then we're gonna get all the fish out of here, and then after that we'll get all the plants out as well, and then we're just gonna drain the tank the rest of the way and get it all loaded up into the truck. Alrighty guys, and as you can see, we have the tank drained. We've got all the plants, water, and fish out of here. And I also went ahead and scooped a good amount of that sand out and put it into this bucket just so it's a little bit lighter to carry. Then we've got all the plants in this bucket and then all the fish in this bucket. So now we're gonna get this tank and stand all loaded up into the truck, and I'll see you guys back at the new house. Alright guys, so we are back at the house, and as you can see, we got the stand and the tank set up in the room. And now the next thing we're going to do is get the rest of the sand in the tank, and then from there we can start scaping this thing. Alrighty guys, so now that all the sand is in, we are going to start scaping this tank. And we're going to go with something pretty similar to how this tank was set up before. We're going to use these two pieces of driftwood and like put them together to where it looks like one big piece of driftwood. So we're going to get that in place. And we also have a bunch of this dragon stone, so we're going to work that in around the driftwood. I'll put this big old piece right here in the front left corner. Now we're going to put another piece of dragon stone right in here. Put this smaller one back here. And we'll have this one right over here in the open. And now we're going to start throwing some plants in here. We'll get all these in position here in a second. But here's that huge plant I was showing you guys earlier. And real quick, we're actually going to go ahead and get all these in position, and then we can move on to some smaller stuff. I'm going to take this big plant here and actually split it in half. I think it's literally too big to like even look good in this tank. And we will use this half in this tank And we might even use the other half just somewhere else, but I'm gonna set it to the side for a second. And we are gonna put this one right back here. Then I think I wanna take this big one and put that in this back left corner. Then we'll take this one and put it in the back over here. And we'll put one of these smaller ones right up here. Now we've got a couple like bigger to medium sized plants here. I'm gonna put one right behind this rock. And I'm gonna put another right up front here in this corner. I just want this back left corner around the driftwood to look extremely overgrown. And it's already looking really good like that. But you know what, I think I'm actually gonna move this one right here into like the middle of the driftwood. Now I am gonna take the other half of that huge plant that we just split and put it in the back right corner. Now right here we have a little cardinal plant. We'll do it right up here in front of this rock. And I believe this one here is called a baby tier plant. We're gonna put it right here behind this rock. Now I've got a couple more tiny little Java ferns that were actually like born from the ones in this tank. They just keep on growing, so I'm gonna find some spots for these little guys. Alright guys, so it's looking really good so far, but before we go too much further, I do want to go ahead and start filling the tank up. It's obviously going to look a lot different when there's some water in it, and we're probably going to have to change a bunch of things. So we are going to start filling this tank up right now. Alrighty guys, and as you can see, the tank is full, and I also went ahead and turned on the filter, heater, and light, and it's looking really good so far. This left side pretty much looks exactly as I wanted it to, but I think this right side looks a little too empty, so I'm gonna switch some stuff around in here. You can see I also need to tuck in that plant a bit better, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do some touch-up work. I think I'm also gonna put this bundle of hornwort in there, and yeah, I'm just gonna switch a couple other things around and make this tank look real nice.
A few moments later.
Alrighty guys, so the tank is completely done, and we are ready to add our fish back in here. A couple things I just did. I put the hornwort in that back corner. I switched a few of these middle plants around. Kind of forgot exactly what I did, but it looks great. And now we're gonna take our net and start scooping our fish out of the bucket. You know what? We're gonna start with Twiggy, because I can just grab him by hand. He's gonna be the first one to go in, and there he goes. Dang, he's gotten big. I really haven't seen that dude in a while. He's gotten huge. Now we're just gonna get a big old scoop. Oh, I just got so many fish right here. And we are going to release them all into the tank. Got both of our angels, a couple tetras, a rainbow fish, a corydoras, a glow light tetra. We just got all but like 4 of the fish. And I am gonna go ahead and get the rest right now. I just got a black skirt tetra right there. There he goes. There's a glow light tetra right there. And then lastly, we've got 2 more corydoras. And yeah, that is everyone. Now I'm gonna go ahead and fill this tank to the very top. One of the fish literally just jumped out of the tank. Okay. There's one of the glow light tetras. He literally jumped out. Bro, are you good? Okay, well hopefully he'll be all right. And yeah, there it is. The first tank of the new house is all set up. All the fish are in, and I'm definitely happy with how it turned out. It's obviously got a bit of clearing up to do. So we are gonna let it do that. We're gonna let these fish get comfortable in here once again. Then we'll probably check back up on it tomorrow. We'll try feeding the fish as well. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the morning. Alrighty guys, so it is definitely not the next day. It's actually been over a month now, but I still want to go ahead and update you guys on the 37-gallon tank. And as you can see, it's looking absolutely great. That water completely cleared up. And most of these plants are doing really good in here. The only thing that really died off was that big bundle of hornwort. It completely died, and I don't really know why. Maybe it was raised outdoors or something. But all the other plants seem to be doing great. All the fish seem to be doing great as well. You can see our 2 beautiful angel fish right up here. And as promised, we are gonna go ahead and feed these fish. So we're gonna go ahead and drop some food in there. And you can see them all come right up to the top and start munching away. Yeah, overall, I am very happy with how this tank turned out. And at the moment, I don't really have any plans for it. It's pretty much gonna stay exactly how it is right now for a while. The only thing is I might wanna get some kind of shrimp for this tank. Like if I see a bamboo shrimp, I'm definitely getting it for this tank. But I might also want some like cherry shrimp or blue shrimp or something like that. And as for the fish, I think we pretty much have the perfect amount of fish for this size tank. So I don't think we'll be adding any more fish anytime soon. But yeah, I hope you guys like how it turned out as well. Let me know down in the comments if you do. That is pretty much gonna wrap up this video, and today's comment of the day goes out to. And if you want your comment to be the comment of the day in the next video, all you gotta do is drop a comment down below, and that could happen. And if you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.